Okay, Pascal's triangle looks like this. So I start with 1, and then 1, 1, 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, then 1. I start with 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, and 2 plus 1 is 3, and then 1, 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 6, 3 plus 1 is 4, and then 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, 4 plus 6 is 10, 6 plus 4 is 10, 4 plus 1 is 1, and then 4 plus 1 is 5, and then 1, 1, and then 1 plus 5 is 6, 15, 20, 15, 6, and then 1, and so on. Now, these numbers, the first one will be when you have a power 0. This is power 1, power 2, power 3, power 4, power 5, power 6, and so on. And these numbers here would make up the coefficients of when you expand out a bracket. So for example, if you had a plus b squared, we know that that is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Now if you look at the coefficients of this, I have 1 as a coefficient here, 2 and 1. So this is power 2, that's power 2, that's 1, 2, 1. So these numbers here represent the coefficients of when I have a bracket and I expand out. And they're useful. Say for example I had y plus 2 all squared. We all know how to expand this out. That would be y squared plus 4y plus 4. If I had y plus 2 cubed, you would write this out 3 times, and then you'd expand these two brackets, and then you multiply the product of these two brackets by that bracket. But say you had y plus 2 to the power 9. Now it would be madness to write this out 9 times, 9 brackets, and to expand this out. And this is where we use Pascal's triangle and binomial expansion. So we're going to look at a few examples. We're going to look at y plus 2 to the power 4. So if I wanted to expand and simplify this, so that's what they'd write in exam. They would write expand and simplify. So expand and simplify. My first term, I would write y to the power 4, so the highest power. And then the next term, I go 1 down, so that's y to the power 3, and then 2 to the power 1. And then my third term, y to the power 2, so that's 4, 3, and then 2. And then I start with 2 to the power 1, the next one will be 2 to the power 2. And then I continue, y to the power 1, 2 to the power 3, and then y to the power 0, and then 2 to the power 4. I stop there. Now notice how these numbers here, so this is 4, and that's equal to 4. And then this is 3 plus 1, which is 4, and that's equal to that. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4, and 0 plus 4 is 4. So these numbers in the powers in each term needs to add up to the power that I have over here. Secondly, notice how I started with y to the power 4, then y to the power 3, y to the power 2, y to the power 1, then y to the power 0. And then if you like, I started with 2 to the power 0, and then 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 3, and then 2 to the power 4, and so on. Then I stop there. And that's how you would write out these two terms when you expand out. Now we have to include the Pascal's triangle. So because I have to the power 4, I'm looking at this section over here. So these are my coefficients. The first one, the coefficient is 1. The second one, the coefficient is 4. This coefficient is 6, 4, and then lastly 1. Now I want to simplify. So I finished expanding. My first term will be y to the power 4. My second term will be 2 times 4 is 8. My third term, 4 times 6 is 24. My fourth term is 8 times 4 is 32. And then y to the power 1, I just write that as y. Y to the power 0 is 1. And then 2 to the power 4 is 16. So that would be your answer for that question. Let's look at one with a negative. So say I have to expand and simplify x minus 2y to the power 5. I'll start by writing, so I'm expanding and simplifying. I'll start by writing x to the power 5 plus x to the power 4 times by minus 2y to the power 1. So notice how this term has a negative. Okay, and then the next one, plus x to the power 3 minus 2y to the power 2, and then x to the power 2 minus 2y to the power 1, then x to the power 1, 1, 2, 3, x to the power 1 minus 2y to the power 4, and then x to the power 0 minus 2y to the power 5. Now I'll do the coefficients. So I'm looking at power 5, so it's this one. My coefficients here are 1, 5, 10, 10, 5 and 1. So that's 1, 5, 10, 10, 5 and 1. And now I have to tidy up. So my first term is x to the power 5. My second term is minus 2y times 5 x to the power 4. So that's minus 10 x to the power 4 y plus minus 2 squared is 4 times 10 is 40, x to the power 3 y squared, and then this here, minus 2 to the power 3 is 8, a negative 8 times by 10 is a negative 80, x squared y cubed, and then this one is a positive 2 to the power 4 is 16 times 5 is 80, whoops, that shouldn't be there, 80x y to the power 4, and then lastly I have 2 to the power 5 is 32 y to the power 5, and that all goes to 1. Okay, the main difference here is when I have a minus, include that in the bracket, and when I have here, for example, minus 2y to the power 1, that's going to be a negative, and then I multiply this negative by 5, I get a negative. The next one, minus 2 squared, minus 2 times a minus 2 is a positive 4, so I'm going to have a positive 4 times 10, and I get 40. The next one, because the power is 3, it's an odd number, your answer for minus 2 to the power 3 is negative 8, so negative 8 times 10 will give you a negative 80. So these numbers here, they should look like negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, and so on. If they don't, then you've made a mistake. And that's how we expand and simplify using Pascal's triangle.